welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a slightly different one. It's not detailing related, but I've recently gained an interest in gaming PCs actually, funnily enough. So yeah, just want to sort of talk you through my new build PC. I actually did have a gaming PC before that, which is about 6 or 7 years old, but I felt it was time to replace that. So this video is not, as I mentioned, not detailing related, be more related to gaming PCs. But if you're interested in that kind of thing, then hopefully you will like this video. But yeah, I'll talk you through the parts that I've used for my build. So as you can see, these are the parts for my build that I used. Just to let you know, this was my first ever self-build PC. The other gaming PC that I had was built by Mesh Computers, but watching lots of videos on YouTube gave me the urge to actually attempt to build my own one. So yeah, this is my first crack at it, and yeah, really pleased with the results and the end result of the gaming PC. In terms of the components that I used the Intel 14900K, so Intel i9 14900K processor. Obviously, those that know about gaming PCs or computer hardware in general will know that Intel had a number of issues with the i9 and I believe i7 as well, the 13th and 14th gen, with them overheating. But thankfully, I haven't had that, because when I got this processor along with my motherboard, there was a BIOS update which was released, and I haven't noticed any issues, touch wood. In terms of the actual motherboard that I went with the Asus ROG Z790 Dark Hero. I think it's a really good motherboard. It wasn't the top of the line, but it's one of the high-end motherboards that Asus offers. But you're really pleased with that motherboard. In terms of memory, I went with the Corsair Dominator Titanium. It was 32 gigabytes. I think it's CL34 memory, or it might be CL32. I can't remember. Probably might be CL32, and it runs at 7,200 megahertz. Again, this had to be enabled via the motherboard. Selecting the XMP profile. So that's that one. I went pretty much with a Corsair themed build throughout. So in terms of the all-in-one cooler that I used the let's see, what is this one? It's the iCUE Link H150i LCD. I wanted the LCD one because I like the display, and yeah, just wanted it to look a bit different to the previous one that I had, which is just a standard. I think it was a Corsair cooler, might be in the H100i, but that's from like 6-7 years ago. But yeah, as you can see, I'm probably a bit of a Corsair fanboy. I have to say, I do like their parts. Appreciate everyone's different, but yeah, that was my choice. In terms of the power supply, if I can get my words right, I use the RMX Shift Series, which is RM1200X, so it's a 1200 watt power supply. I didn't actually use the cables that came with it, the PSU cables. I went and bought the Corsair Pro PSU cable kit, so they're like braided cables. It's all black, because I think in the Type 5 cables they've got limited colours. I think there was white and black, there was black, and there might have been just white from memory, if my memory serves me correct. So that was that one. Obviously, I also went with the QX120 fan. So I bought a triple fan kit and a single QX120 fan. I really like these fans. They're fantastic in terms of the RGB lighting effects that they can give. The only trouble I would say, or not trouble per se, but they don't deliver the most airflow, I believe, out of all the Corsair fans. There is the RX lineup, which I believe delivers more airflow. However, with that being said, the RX doesn't have as fancy an RGB lineup. I think this has got more LEDs than the RX lineup does. But yeah, something to consider, I guess, if you're looking at airflow. In terms of hard drive, I went with the Samsung SSD 990 Pro, and I went with a 4TB one. This is PCI 4 NVMe M.2 storage. So yeah, really fast. I didn't go for a Gen 5 because I was concerned about the temperature, and given that the i9-4900K is a bit of a hot cookie, I decided I don't want to add more heat to my build. And to be completely honest with you, this is plenty fast anyway, so I don't really see the need as yet to have a Gen 5 SSD in my build. And I also went with the GeForce RTX 4090 ROG Strix OC edition. Really good graphics card. I wanted to go really high end because, you know, it's been 6-7 years since I last bought a gaming PC. I thought I might as well just go all out, and you know, this will last me quite a while as well anyway. Having said that, you know, if I get enough of a bug, I might end up changing this maybe sooner rather than later, potentially, depending on how the new 50 series graphics cards are. I'm led to believe, based on all the rumours, that they are really much more powerful than the 40 series. But yeah, that remains to be seen. That's just rumours. Obviously, I already mentioned, went with the ROG Maximus Z790 Dark Hero. Really good motherboard. I did see some reviews on it saying, oh, not to go for it, but so far so good. No complaints. I really like it. I think it's an aesthetically pleasing looking motherboard. So yeah, no complaints from me. I would recommend it. Lastly, this is a bit of an elephant in the room. Originally, I didn't buy a sound card. I thought, you know, let's see how the onboard sound card is. The onboard sound on the motherboard is. But, you know, having utilised that for the first few weeks, I really did not enjoy the sound that was coming out of it. So, as with my previous build, which obviously I didn't build, it was built by someone else. So it was built to spec. I had an Asus Sonar 5.1 sound card, and the sound out that was really good. So I did actually look for an Asus sound card for my build, but given that I was going for Windows 11, I didn't find any Asus sound cards which appeared to be compatible. I did read a lot of reviews, and a lot of people mentioned how they had compatibility issues, so that then led me to look elsewhere, and I landed on the Creative AE7 Sound Blaster, and I have to say, this is just it's another level compared to the Asus Sonar 5.1 that I've got in my previous build. This is a really good sound card. Yeah, it costs a fair bit, but yeah, I would recommend it to anyone. It does have a feature for so you can connect a microphone and a headset with this device here. I don't foresee myself using that, to be completely honest. It's more so about the actual sound card itself. But yeah, I think this has really helped with my build, and yeah, the sound quality is amazing now. Right, in terms of the case that I actually used, it was the Corsair 5000T. I'll go and show you the actual case now with and turn on the machine so you can see it in all its glory. Right, so let's turn the machine on now so you can see the RGB on display, and also how fast the machine boots up. As you'll see, I've got the ROG Claymore keyboard. This is from obviously 6-7 years ago. It's a fantastic keyboard. I've also got the ROG Gladius, I think 2 it is from memory. So yeah, you'll see I'm a bit of a Corsair and an Asus ROG fanboy. But yeah, you can see it's just booted up so fast. I'm really impressed. I mean, to be fair, my previous build, my previous machine, which was an i7-8700K, it also had 32GB RAM, but it was DDR4. It had a 512GB SSD, because I think it was a Gen 3 one. I think it was one of the first ones around at that time. But yeah, they did. If I want any larger, it would have been a lot more expensive. But yeah, SSD prices I think have started to become a bit more reasonable, especially in the Gen 4 range. But yeah, as you can see, that's loaded up really quick. I'll just actually show you the lighting on the machine itself, and I'll try. I mean, it does have a glass panel on the side, but because of how my machine is situated in my desk, it may not be abundantly clear. But what I'll do is I'll try and show you the best that I can. And I actually did take a photo once I'd built the machine up. Surprise, surprise. and I believe I took another video as well. So probably what I'll look to do is, if it's not clear, I'll look to do a bit of mix and match so you can see the case and the lighting inside. Let's bring you in a bit closer. Let's take you off the tripod. Right, so just zoom out a bit actually, a bit wide angle. So this is the Corsair 5000T. You'll see it's got the QX120. I've left it on the water colour pattern that Corsair is renowned for. I think it just looks so amazing. Really, really good. Let's take you to the side of the case as well now. Let's see how this comes up. I'm not sure how good it will come up, but we'll do our best. In terms of, yeah, it's a bit hard to see because of the desk and the way things are situated. But yeah, that's, you might be able to see the cooler in there. It's, I don't think it's very particularly clear, but it does have a thermo, it does have the temperature listed on there. What I'll do is, because of the lack of clarity on the image, I will actually look at giving you an overlay of another video that I took with my phone. Probably not as good, but yeah. In terms of how much this build cost, it was just, now that I've got you back on the tripod, in terms of the build cost me just short of 5k. Yeah, it's a very high-end build, I would have to say. I know it's not water-cooled, I could probably go even higher, but I wasn't confident enough to actually attempt at even building a water-cooled PC. That might be something that I might look to do for my next build, whenever that might be. But yeah, I wasn't brave enough to try to attempt to even bend some tubes and try and fit them in a case. But yeah, that's probably something I'll look at doing next time. But yeah, I hope you like the PC and the parts that I've used. Any comments or queries, please feel free to drop me a message. Oh, in terms of the parts, again, I'm a very small channel. I don't think these manufacturers will take notice. But in terms of where I bought the parts from, I used an array of sources. Amazon. I tried to shop around to see where I could get the parts the cheapest. So Amazon, I got the QX120 fans from. I also bought the SSD from them, the 990 Samsung 990 Pro from there. I bought the triple fan QX120 from there as well. I also bought, the rest of the items I think were bought from overclockers, with the exception of the sound card. That I bought from Creative directly because, funny enough, they were offering it £20 cheaper than anyone else. Actually, the graphics card I bought through Currys. Actually, it wasn't the cheapest through Currys, but I wanted to sort of spread the cost because they were offering a buy now pay later deal on it. So I thought, I might as well make use of a buy now pay later option. So yeah, that's what I did with the ROG Strix gaming card, the 4090 OC. But yeah, hope you like the build. Any comments or queries, please feel free to drop me in the comments box below, and I'll do my best to come back to you. And yeah, hopefully at some point, I'll be looking at uploading another detailing video. It's just that, I've had, had a bad injury about almost 18 months ago, and it's just taken a long time to recover. So I haven't done as much detailing as I would have liked, but yeah, hopefully we'll be back on the detailing videos soon. Thanks, take care.